Are you in the mood to watch something really stupid right now? Well, you're in the right place for sure. Because for the next 7 days, I'm going to be eating nothing but the Costco chicken bake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Each of these has approximately 840 calories in them, but at the end of the video, I'm gonna see if I can lose weight in a week while eating these, because eating healthy would actually be harder for me. If you've never had a Costco chicken bake, it's basically a gourmet foot-long Hot Pocket. The chicken bake contains chicken, obviously, Caesar dressing, mozzarella, bacon, and is baked to golden brown, or sometimes burnt in my case. Before leaving for my first of 21 meals at Costco this week, I had to weigh myself, and honestly, it's a miracle that I'm not 300 pounds at this point because of all my eating challenges, but remember this weight for the end of the video. My videographer, Bill, decided to join me on the first meal, and he surprised me with a gift that he said would help me this week.
I knew this was gonna be a really brutal week.
You got me a bidet?
Bill got me a bidet, which if you don't know what one of those are, they basically shoot water into your ass and clean it and make it so you don't have to wipe.
This literally says fantastic with an ass.
I secretly hope I don't have to use it much this video, but I might. After greeting all the Costco employees I've gotten to know so far this year, it was time to eat my first ever chicken bake since I've never had one before this week.
Oh my God. Dude, this is amazing.
After taking my first bite of the chicken bake, my thoughts were...
Mine's pretty good.
Are you gonna eat the whole thing?
Of course I'm going to.
Before I left, one of the Costco employees gave me a free chicken bake because she said I waited too long, which it was only maybe like 3 minutes long, but that's a long time for me.
Hey, yo.
Also, the chicken bake has a lot of work to do if it's gonna stand up to eating the Costco pizza for a week or the Costco hot dog meal for a week. For example, a chicken bake on its own is $3.99 and the Costco hot dog with a 20-ounce drink is $1.50. So by my math, the chicken bake has to be 2.6 times better. I said I was gonna try to lose weight this week and I've had success doing so with every other weekly eating challenge I've done, but I feel like this is gonna be the hardest challenge so far just because I have to say that so the plot thickens, but actually the chicken bake probably is the most filling thing I've had so far. So I'm gonna try to walk 10 to 15 miles a day and also drink a gallon of water to help me with this process per usual. I ended up deciding to not go to Costco for my second meal since I was bestowed a free chicken bake into the palm of my hands. I used my home field advantage to dip it into some Chipotle mayo, and if you're somehow mad at that, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I hired you to be on the board of this video. The Chipotle mayo was an absolute game changer, and I think that's what the chicken bake is missing.
Oh, yeah.
Something to dip it in. There's just too much bread on a chicken bake to not have something to dip into it. At least with the hot dog, you get the condiments like the ketchup, mustard, relish, which gave me the brilliant idea of dipping my chicken bake in relish for my third and final meal of day one. It was honestly kind of weird. Probably not worth ever doing again. One of my followers, Wyatt, came over and said he got his first chicken bake here because he saw my Instagram story.
So you're about to record. I saw your story. First chicken bake.
Dude, let's go. No way. Do you want to be in it?
This is your first chicken bake ever?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not bad.
Just wanted to give a forewarning to everybody that watches these videos. Please do not try this at home. I am a professional dumbass. After day one, I had consumed 3 foot-long chicken bakes, and with the soda and refill in me, that's approximately 3,050 calories. I also ran 14 miles today, so I wasn't a total piece of shit. On day 2, I felt like I had 3 feet of chicken bakes in my system. Oh wait, I did.
I don't want to go to Costco and eat chicken bakes. I want to go to bed. I am in bed.
I also forgot to mention my last meal on day 1 was around 7 p.m. because my Cavs played at 7:30. And since I was getting to Costco the next day at 11, that would have been 16 hours between meals, which is a lot. So I was actually very excited to eat a chicken bake today. Okay, I wasn't that excited. I was just really hungry. Surprisingly, it was pretty good today. I probably could have consumed a leather belt and it still would have been tasty to me at this point. Also, chicken bakes are very messy to eat, and combine that with me being a very messy eater myself, all my tables looked like a shit show afterwards. And speaking of shit show, I walked my parents' dogs to get some steps in before my second meal, and by the judge of the doggy bags, you would have thought they were the ones eating the Costco chicken bakes. I'm sorry for saying that. The spring pollen that came out really gave me a lot of allergies. I promise I'm not crying from this challenge, at least not yet.
So bad. Oh my God.
So I went on another walk in my blue light glasses so I wouldn't rub my eyes. Plot twist, that didn't work either. I went back to Costco and got another chicken bake. They were never cold, which is a positive, but I have no patience and would always burn my mouth and hands on them. My 5th overall chicken bake actually was pretty good, but it turns out the bottom of every chicken bake is a little burnt, meaning the last bite of every chicken bake I have is going to leave a bad, burnt, lingering taste into my mouth. That's like the most first world problem ever. I just want you to feel bad for me so the plot thickens. Also, speaking of first world problems.
First world problems. Just saying, first world problems. This challenge is kind of annoying because I have to drive like
3 hours a day. It's basically like a half hour there, half hour back.
Oh, boo-hoo.
The food court closes at 8:30, so naturally I arrived at 8:20 and hoped they still had some chicken bakes left by the time I got there. And unfortunately for me, they did. I said unfortunately because it means I have to eat another chicken bake tonight. After my 6th meal of the week, I had experienced what is called flavor fatigue, which is basically your brain getting bored of the foods you're eating. This normally happens when you're eating healthy foods, not unhealthy foods like I am at Costco this week. And with nothing else I can have for the next 7 days, in other words, I'm After 2 days, I've consumed 6 total chicken bakes and have basically mailed in any sort of health and drank 6 sodas today for a total of 8, which brings my 2-day total in calories to 7,100 calories. I did a lot of editing today, so I severely slacked on my walk running goals, so I hope to do a better job of that tomorrow. Day 3 would be a little busier for me because in the afternoon, I'd be traveling down to Columbus to spend a couple days with Kelsey, who allows me to destroy her toilets. My first chicken bake of the day was average. Not because it was prepared poorly, I'm just sick and tired of eating this thing at this point. Again, you can mix it up with the Costco hot dog meal with the condiments, but with chicken bakes, there's no variety. So this is probably how I was gonna look the rest of the week. Ugly. I also got another chicken bake for later in the day since I'd be traveling. I decided to go on a run after my first meal, but because my feet were still sore from running a marathon without training last week, I decided walking was probably the best. Besides, I've already had enough runs this week, am I right? I went to another Costco on the way to Columbus and check out this big brain move right here. Instead of eating the chicken bake I had previously gotten, I decided to get a fresh chicken bake here and eat it now, and then have the other chicken bake I got earlier later in the day because I wouldn't have to have 2 leftover chicken bakes. I would just have to have 1. That might not be that impressive for most of you, but there's not a lot to work with up here sometimes, so I thought I was a genius for that. I ate my fresh chicken bake on the road to Columbus where Kelsey was hosting trivia tonight. I drank a beer because I make the rules around here, and Kelsey's friends ordered pizza and they didn't finish it all in front of me. What the f? There was a trivia question for who the saltiest person on planet Earth would be. Me. I went back to Kelsey's to have my 3rd and final chicken bake of the day. Luckily, she has a toaster oven and some secret sauce, so I was actually pretty happy with how it tasted. Then I watched the Oklahoma City Thunder play the New Orleans Pelicans and thought to myself, wow, those guys eat a lot better than I do and are way more successful. So why am I doing this again? After 3 days, I've had 9 total chicken bakes and 10 sodas and a beer. My total calories were at 10,170, and I walked more miles today, but only ran 9.5 miles total. So with my mile average less than 10 per day, I had to actually kick it into gear on day 4. On day 4, I got to Costco 4 minutes after they opened and there were already a bunch of people here. I'd say these people are nuts, but I'm eating the Costco chicken bake this week and apparently still dealing with it. The Madison Mallards sent me a jersey of their one-night rebrand, the Wisconsin Worst, and I was starting to feel like the worst right now, actually, except W-O-R-S-T. Putting this into perspective, I have consumed up to this point 9 feet worth of Costco chicken bakes. That's taller than any human that's ever lived, which means I've basically inhaled the biggest man on the planet.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I went on a 4-mile walk with Kelsey before doing another 4-mile walk on my own.
Every time I film myself, I notice I just like have really weird walking form. Oh, hey, it's me.
These walks did 3 things for me. First, they made me mentally feel better. 2, I wasn't as bloated. 3, they made me hungrier for chicken bakes. Kelsey joined me for lunch because I am a terrible boyfriend and did not take her on any dates, and she needed somewhere to eat for lunch. Men working. Wow. What about the women? This was her first chicken bake ever. She liked it a lot more than I did today. However, she agreed with my sentiment that it could be elevated to taste a little better. Like with some dip. She also broke her finger shutting it on a car door. I think her cast looks like Grimace. Also, little side note, Columbus, Ohio has the worst drivers in America, in my opinion, which made going back and forth to Costco a little dicey. I was not looking forward to that. And to prove my point, here's a man just typing on a computer while driving. Who thinks that's a good idea? Idiot! After having a beer with Kelsey and petting a cool dog named Murphy, it was time to have my final chicken bake of the day.
You're eating actual food, and I'm having a chicken bake again.
And since the Cavs had another playoff game that night, I elected to just have a leftover chicken bake I'd gotten previously in the day. I switched over to the NFL draft and supported that because the only thing that was more blown out than the Cavs that night was my back after squatting on the toilet too much today. After 4 days, I had consumed 12 chicken bakes and 13 sodas for a total of 13,710 calories. I stepped up my mile game and walked 12.1 miles today, so I still had some hope on losing weight this week, even though the odds were against me. this is obviously not a great way to lose weight. You should not do something like this to lose weight. You should eat healthy. That morning, I left to go back up to Cleveland and went to a Costco on the way there and thought about the key lime pie Kelsey was making that morning for her mom's birthday. And I was mostly thinking about me not having it. But instead, I was having my 13th chicken bake of the week so far, which should not be a real sentence. I actually didn't mind it that much today because the last time I had eaten was 16 hours ago. On the way back, I had thought about the past couple days and how I really haven't gone to the bathroom that much. And if you are not familiar with this channel, anytime I say that, my body usually just gets rid of and rejects whatever I have eaten. AKA, I'll just take a big shit. And unfortunately, when I had that thought, I was driving in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. So I had to drive 20 minutes in soiled shorts to the nearest Sheetz location, lose a little more weight in the bathroom, throw out my underwear, and put a new pair on with some new shorts.
I gotta stop doing these fucking eating challenges, man.
I then arrived at the Costco nearest to my home immediately after shitting my pants, which is like somebody sitting in a dunk tank getting mad that they got wet. So I went on a run because that's the only thing that can make me happy right now. Kelsey came up for her mom's birthday this weekend, so she joined me at Costco for dinner. She got a hot dog because after having the chicken bake once, she didn't want to have it again. I didn't have a choice though, even though I do make the rules around here. I then had a beer at my favorite pub and walked my parents' dogs for a mile, and then went to bed with only 2 days left of this unnecessary challenge. Thank God. After 5 days, I've had 15 chicken bakes, 17,360 total calories, and I've walked/ran 53.3 miles, so my average is now over 10 miles a day. It's day 6 of this challenge. On day 6 in the Bible, God created humans, so I feel like, in a way, God created me to eat chicken bakes. Kelsey and I went on a 4-mile walk in the morning before I headed to Costco for my 16th chicken bake. Another sentence that should never have been said. Half the Costco parking lot was under construction and everybody drives and parks here like they're in a zoo. So I just parked next door to Red Robin to avoid the chaos. Since it was an absolute madhouse in Costco, there was no room at the food court, so I decided to get away from everything, have some peace and quiet, and eat the chicken bake in my car.
I wonder how many car accidents happen in a Costco parking lot.
Now, one thing that makes this project really, really difficult that I always forget about, on Saturdays and Sundays, Costco closes at 6 p.m. and since the food court closes a half hour earlier, that means I can't eat any later than 5:30 at Costco. But for now, I went to a couple bars to celebrate Kelsey's mom's birthday and watch the Cavs get absolutely dismantled by the Orlando Magic. To make matters even worse, Kelsey's family got amazing food and all I had was my average personality.
Hey, is it good? What? You say you don't feel bad? I didn't ask if you feel bad.
I had to leave the birthday festivities to go back to the same Costco I had just previously left, which was absolutely miserable planning on my part. I grabbed a chicken bake to eat later that night because I went back to Kelsey's mom's to watch them eat the key lime pie Kelsey made for them, and oh my goodness, I want to quit so badly. It looks so good. I'm more mentally weak than men that bark in women's DMs right now. Before getting back to my apartment at 11:30 at night to finally eat my stupid microwave bullshit fucking chicken bake with a little chipotle mayo, and then I went to bed. After 6 days, I've had 18 feet of chicken bakes, holy smokes, and 20 sodas for a total of 20,810 calories. I only walked 5.7 miles today, boo. Making my average below 10 miles per day this week, so I was hoping to fix that on day 7. I woke up and went on a walk with Kelsey, then went to church to ask God to please fix my digestive system, and then the two of us headed to Costco. And I only had 3 of these meals left before I could finally say I was done with this pointless project. My chicken bake for the first meal the last day was okay, it was kind of average. Kelsey got a turkey Swiss sandwich, which she actually said was pretty good, and I took a chicken bake back home with me because Costco closes early again tonight. We then went home where I ran into some complications, let's just say. Completely unrelated also, I had some Pepto-Bismol. After going on another 4-mile walk with Kelsey, I decided, completely under my own power of course, to have a microwave chicken bake. The bad news here was I didn't like it at all. It stunk. The good news was I only had 1 more chicken bake left before I could say this project was over. I had eaten the chicken bake a lot later than I was supposed to because I forgot that it was in my fridge. So I ate the 1 chicken bake 10 minutes before leaving for my next one. It'll probably be difficult eating chicken bakes back to back, but for now there was only one thing left to do, and that was dress up for the chicken bake funeral.
Am I the smartest dumb person in the world or the dumbest smart person in the world?
Probably neither. I then left after saying goodbye to Kelsey. She left to go back up to Columbus because she has a normal life and doesn't dress up for binge eating. I naturally arrived at Costco 5 minutes before the food court closed for my last chicken bake of the week, and probably the last one I'd ever have.
You know, every other challenge, I'm like, oh, I'm really gonna miss eating this, the hot dog, the pizza, whatever. F the chicken bake. I can't wait to be done. All right, I'm gonna be late if I don't go in. I gotta stop doing a monologue.
I was incredibly full from my last meal 30 minutes ago, but my determination and sheer stupidity propelled me over the finish line, and before I knew it, I had eaten nothing but the Costco chicken bake for a week. And now the results that nobody asked for. After 7 days, I guzzled down 21 Costco chicken bakes and 23 sodas for an estimated total of 24,110 calories, which is about 3,400 calories a day. I spent approximately $82.77, a little less than 2 times what I spent for eating nothing but the Costco hot dog meal for a week. I was super proud of myself because I walked 13.1 miles on Sunday, which ended up bringing my total miles up to 72.1, and my average above my goal of 10 miles per day, 10.3 per day to be exact. So did the exercise help? Did I lose weight after eating 21 feet worth of Costco chicken bakes? I lost 2 pounds exactly this week because nothing makes sense on this channel. Before we wrap up the video, I just realized the bidet that my videographer Bill got me earlier in the week, I never used once at all. So I'm basically the biggest piece of shit ever, besides the one that was in my shorts.
I know what I like, baby, I like you. This American pie with the high Q. Oh my, I do. Just fly right through. We'll get high as a kite in the afternoon.
Well, the Cavs had another big playoff win last night, but some fans are furious because they couldn't watch any of it.
Why is this game not accessible to everybody on national television? It's the NBA playoffs. What are we doing? Figure it out.